Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So today, me and my group member, we present to you about communication skill. So this is our group member. Our group member consists of 5 members, which is me, Siti Khadizah, Binti Khamis, Nurul Hasyimah, Binti Jamal, Nadhirah, Binti Idris, Diyana, Binti Mohammad, Shafeeq, and the last one is Nurul Hasyimah, Binti Mohammad. This is the topic that will be discussed in our presentation today. Firstly, we will talk about some introductions of communication skills, and then the types of communication skills, and then tips on communication skills, barriers to effective communication, and the last is formal and informal shura. First of all, let's take a look about some introduction about the communication skills. Right, so what is communication skill? Communication skills are the abilities you use when you want to give and receive some different kinds of information. And some example will include communicating new ideas, feelings, or getting connected with each other. Communication skills involve listening, speaking, observing, and also empathizing. It is also helpful to understand the difference in how to communicate through face-to-face interactions or using a phone conversation, and also digital communication like email and social media to avoid any misunderstanding around the one who communicates. So why it is important for us to have a communication skills? Because communication skill is the basic building block of any relationship, especially when we want to convey our thoughts, feeling, and connection to one another. When committed families will care about the quality of their relationship, they will realize that communication is very important to improve their relationship. Couples who have healthy marriage will love and respect each other and communicate to each other and also their children. Communication between parent and children is one of the prevalent factors in ensuring the family's success. Thus, it is necessary for parents to develop the techniques and skills of communication so that their relationship between family members will be handled in a very smooth manner. Parents who listen and talk to children will be able to build a positive relationship with their children.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Diyana Binti Mohammad Shafeeq with the matric number 1832510, and today I will be presenting on the types of communication skills. So there are 3 types. Firstly is non-verbal communication, secondly verbal communication, and thirdly listening as communication. So for non-verbal communication, there's positive and negative. For the positive is more for smiling, being open, relaxed, and also being friendly. For negative, examples are frowning, glaring, being loud or hostile, and also sarcastic. For verbal communication, it's more of how you speak to your child or your spouse, the tone of it, and also how the nature of it, like speaking calmly and respectfully. So for example, some parents, they tend to speak and communicate out their expectations like, sometimes I wonder if you have a brain. So instead of doing that, you should speak in a more calm tone, and also don't have like that mindset of comparing your child with another child. Always say like, hi, are you okay, how's your feelings, and so to ensure that your child knows that you care for him or her, and that whenever they need help or need assurance, they can always go back to you. So for listening as communication, it's important not to be judgmental on what a person says to you regarding his or her emotions, and you have to have active listening in conversations. Active listening is when you really take the time to understand and listen to the other party who's telling you what they're going through. You shouldn't mindlessly wonder when they are talking to you. And active listening is when you nod and also give a little bit of summary of what the person has shared with you. So that's important, because with active listening, then the person will feel as though you are really caring about what he or she is trying to say to you, and that would make he or she want to open up and share more things with you. Yes. So there are 5 simple ways to become a better listener. Firstly is to make eye contact, and it depends if the other person is okay with it. So secondly is to take notes, in this case maybe mental notes, like to ensure that you know what he or she is trying to tell you. Thirdly is to allow them to finish their sentences. You don't want to abruptly cut into the conversation or breaking their train of thought. And fourthly is to respond. Yes, and respond with what? So that's the fifth part, which is ask core questions. So like, how can I help you? Why is it important to you? So these questions help to make the conversation flow better, and also get the other person to understand where your how you're understanding his or her story that she has shared, and also have the feeling like, hey, this person is actually listening to me and caring about me. So that is just 5 simple ways to become a better listener. So communication by example. Communication by example is very important because the child will always observe what you're doing, and with that observation will also reenact that or emulate it. So you have to be aware when you're a parent, when you say like, do as I say, not as I do, because it's hard for the child to actually internalize that. Because if they see something that you're doing which doesn't match with what you say, they'll be confused. And parents with low motivation or who deny responsibility for their failures convey that hard work, determination, and personal responsibility are not important, and that's very bad. Because with these parents' disinterest, it says that the child is not important, and you do not want to make your child feel unimportant. So you have to internalize it that, communication by example, you have to set the best example for your child.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Hasyimah Binti Jamal with the metric number 1917344. Now, I will be presenting for the next part of this presentation about the tips to improve communication skills. Firstly, communication skills can be improved by using iMessages. iMessage here means that we describe our feeling and tell the listener on how we are affected or influenced by their behavior. iMessage can express emotions in a way that is not threatening. It is also focused on the speaker's feelings, and definitely this method is different from U-messages. U-message blame and judge the other person, and is often trigger defensiveness or hostility in the partner and tend to increase conflict. Secondly, using clear expressions also one of the tips to improve communication skills. We may think that our partner knows our needs, feelings, and opinions without we saying them out loud. All too often, that is not the way it is. The habit of expecting our partner to read our mind can result in hurt, disappointment, and misunderstandings. If we want to avoid this common mistake, simply state our thoughts as clearly, honestly, and positively as we can. Thirdly, communication skills can also be improved by using good listening skills. Send a clear message to your partner and your children that they are important to you. It is also shows you care about their thoughts and feelings. Listening without being defensive encourages open and honest sharing. It is the key to preventing problems and to help solve them when they happen. Next, we may use reflective listening to enhance the communication skills. It is when the listener repeats what he or she has heard using feelings such as angry, excited, and sad. The example like, it sounds like you are unhappy today. Why do you feel so upset? We may use that. At the same time, we should avoid from being communication stopper or roadblocks. This situation often happen amongst parents where they're always shutting down communications instantly if they begin conversation with the stoppers. Examples of stoppers are, don't talk to your mother like that. If you do that, you will be sorry. Rather, parents should allow children to express themselves without interruptions by trying to hear what the child is saying without filtering or editing the child's words to fit your own expectations. Parents should also put themselves in the child's shoes, not jumping into conclusion or finishing the child's sentences. It is best that parents repeat what the child is saying to show that you understand and respect the child's words and ability, and to know how he or she feels. Last but not least, finding time to talk is a good way to improve the communication skills. We as a human being should make a quality of time as our love language, so that spending time with undivided attention will not be a commitment or burden to us. Instead, it will make us happy as we enjoy the moment. Another way we can find the time to talk is by creating a date with our spouse or children, so that we have time to talk to them. Or maybe we can plan one routine family time each week or gathering, so that it will ease other family members to talk to each other too. And maybe the simplest way is notice those times when our spouse or our children seems want to talk. Or maybe we can talk when we take a walk together, talk while we work together on household chores, talk in the car while traveling to activities. Inshallah, all these tips might help us to be close with our beloved ones without any conflict.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nadhirah Binti Idris. My metric number 1911380. Now I will be presenting about the barriers to effective communication skills. There are 9 barriers to effective communication skills, which are attitudes, language, cultural differences, assumption and misleading, personal goals and priorities, environment factor, distracted sources, interpersonal relationships, and also poor listening skills. The first one is in terms of attitudes. The barriers that happen are defensiveness, guilt, distorted perception, distortion from the past, and supposed hesitation to be candid. Other than that, in terms of language, the choice of words, phrase, and body language also can be barriers of effective communication skills, because the choice of words from spouse will influence the quality of communications. So if spouse use curse or rude words, for example, it can distortion of the meaning, lead to the broken marriage just because of communication. Next, cultural differences also one of the barriers. The effective of communications require deciphering the basic value, motive, aspirations, and assumptions that operate across culture. Otherwise, spouse will have miscommunication because of cross-cultural. In addition, assumption and misreading happen because of body language, tone, and non-verbal communications. Your partner, as example, always assume that you see his or her situation and feelings same as you. In terms of personal goal and priorities, and also distracted sources, it can be barriers because of power struggles and fulfilling assumption. At the same time, it happens because of erroneous translation, value judgment, and the condition of mind from two people. Besides that, barriers to effective communication happen because of environment factor. Some people in their environment have noisy transmission. For instance, their family are lived in construction area and need to speak loudly. Until they married also, they speak loudly with their spouse, where can affect negative of communication. In this case, it is a way of their communication actually, but probably their spouse dodge that they are mad. Next, in terms of interpersonal relationship, how we perceive communication affected by the past experience with the individual. Perception is also affected by the relationship between spouse and also relationship between parents and their children. The last one of the barriers to effective communication skills is poor listening skills. We need to listen with understanding, and also we should hear the idea and attitude from the other's presence of view. That's all from me. Now we move on to the next presenter.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Hasyimah, and I will be talking about informal shura and formal shura. Firstly, informal shura is like talking to each other. It may happen at any place and at any time. Shura doesn't have to be about family affairs. Mutual consultation in family could be about any topic. a serious topic could be brought up in small doses if shura is not the norm of the family. For example, spouses should update each other about their work, the neighborhood, the masjid, and their respective activities. Mutual consultation necessitates the exchange of information. For family time and shura, a family calendar would be extremely useful. Go over the next month's date in family gatherings, such as games or next family meetings. Or another example, spouses may see one another on a daily basis without ever discussing difficulties or issues. So, by other than doing the usual thing, they can make an appointment to go out to a restaurant or taking a walk in a park and discuss issues or any difficulties they are facing. Secondly, formal shura. Formal shura is a process to reach an agreement on an issue of mutual interest. If the word shura feels too serious, you may consider calling it a family meeting or family circle, whatever we are comfortable with it. For example, go in with a plan, set goals, or make an agenda, and then put the phones away and talk about life events with each other. Everyone should participate in this shura with an open mind, and also children also should be included in this shura. Sometimes parents tend to ignore their children's opinions and thoughts, believing that their youth and inexperience they have, which makes them unfit or not suitable for having this shura. However, that is incorrect. Children are intellectual beings who can add a lot to family conversations. Parents have to listen to them carefully, to what they say without criticizing them or being judgmental. Children can learn how to speak effectively in a safe, comfortable atmosphere by practicing shura with their families. Parents must realize that while their love is essential in parenting their children, it is insufficient to develop a well-adjusted and happy child. However, the key to a good development is communication. Some suggestions on how to do formal shura are: this forum should include discussion of any topic from the Quran, Sunnah, or current affairs. Secondly, begin the shura with Allah's hamd, salawat on our Prophet. And then you have to be willing to sacrifice your opinion if it is not accepted, even if you are sure of its soundness. Learn the details of the topic under consultation before you speak. And lastly, listen attentively to what others are saying by being respectful in discussing each other's point of view.
In conclusion, it is very important for us to have this communication skill so that we can always get connected to each other around the family. I think that's all from us. We hope that everyone will benefit from our topic for today. Thank you for watching.